when I started off, I wanted to work, really, but somehow we were not allowed to, because women from good families, read, affluent, they were not supposed to work. I simply refused to be confined in those unsurmountable walls of false family pride, prohibitions, barriers. At the same time, I never wanted to tear down those walls. That would create chaos. So what I did was, I started building gates, small gates, from where I could escape those seemingly impregnable walls. I let myself out and left the gates open for the rest to follow. The strength to go against the tide was my mother. May Allah bless her with the highest ranks in Jannat al-Firdaus. She was a graduate of Lady McLagan's College, Lahore, and never had the chance to pursue her career for obvious reasons. But she made sure that her daughters got what is best education, a proper education, what education should be. Not only she sent us to elite school available in the town, but she opened the world for us by encouraging us to read extensively. I started my career as a teacher 40 years back. नौकरी तो करने नहीं दे रहे थे, so I had my own school. And soon enough, I was able to implement my ideals. It was easy for me because with that I owned the school and I could do whatever I wanted to. So I made sure that बच्चे grades के पीछे मरना भागें, and they should broaden their horizons. I taught them morality. I taught them equality. I taught them equity. I taught them to have faith in themselves. I taught them to be useful citizens of tomorrow. It was the beginning, but I believed and strongly believe that there should be equal opportunities for everyone. So my first step was, I started taking in the children of my staff, my janitor, driver, cook, so on and so forth. The result was, the parents started objecting. They didn't want their children to share the desks with those whom they thought were not their equals. Allah ने तुम्हें equal पैदा किया है, लेकिन बहरहाल हम equal तो नहीं है ना. High and mighty. To implement my ideals, I had to pay the price, and I was willing to pay the price. मेरे तक बात पहुंची, तो उनका विजय जनाब साहब ले जाएं बच्चों को, मैंने बांध को तो नहीं रखा हुआ. I was called names. I was branded branded by people with biased minds. कोई कहता जी यहाँ पे खुदा रसूल तो समझाने के लिए आपको नहीं भेजा हमने बच्चों को, पढ़ाएं जी, वी नीड ग्रेड्स। ओ लेवल्स ए लेवल्स आप करवा रहे हैं और उधर आप दकियानूसी बातें सिखा रहे हैं। कोई क्या कहता, कोई क्या कहता। खैर, I stuck to what I believe. मैंने जो करना था वो मैंने किया, and as I said, it is easy said than done. कीमत अदा की, willingly की। घर का दाल दलिया था, so I could afford that. Maybe now when I look back, maybe if I were in strained circumstances, I might not have done that. I might not be able to do that. शायद मैं सोचती कि नहीं, ये बच्चा चला जाएगा, फीस नहीं आएगी, फिर क्या होगा। बहरहाल, we carried on. In early 90s, or maybe mid 90s, when I shifted to my own premises, it is my premises, they are now even, and they are in the vicinity of rural areas where the people knew me, my family, and when we shifted there, there was a surge of admissions, for free admissions, I would say. It was difficult for me to handle so many. So that was the beginning of our Manjat Foundation. It's an education foundation which is purely funded by my immediate family and myself. Because I feel it would be difficult if I take funds from someone else, from outside, then it would be very difficult for me to keep दो चार का साहब ज़रा मुझे नहीं आता साहब मैं बहुत कमज़ोर हूँ हाथ में सुराख भी हैं so I didn't want to take that chance ये कल को कहेंगे भी खा गई so me and my family was good enough. During the daytime, the children who paid, they used to have their classes, and in the evening the same classrooms were used for those children of the vicinity who had taken admission with me. Same books, same courses, same environment, almost the same teachers. After a couple of years, when we had extended our premises, so purpose-built premises were built for the Manjat Foundation as well, and the children were shifted from the evening to the morning session. इसी दौरान I came, ज़लज़ला हो गया 5 में. ज़लज़ला हुआ तो I don't know what to do. I'm a teacher. Basically, I'm a teacher. So I don't know what to do. Through some friends, and I must mention Shahzad Roy, I was introduced and taken to Balakot. And 20 days after the devastating earthquake, exactly 20 days after, on the 28th, that was our first day of the school. The first school to start functioning after the earthquake. As I said, ज़िंदगी में कुछ किया तो नहीं है. Small, timid steps I've been taking. Another small step was when someone introduced me to the Lighthouse School for Girls. शायद नाम से आपको समझ आ गई होगी. That is the only school, a private school, and the only school for visually impaired girls in KPK. When I went there, honestly, I couldn't sleep for so many nights. I felt so guilty that right under our noses, the girls were living in such morbid conditions कि आप सोच भी नहीं सकते. इतने बुरे हाल में, इतने बुरे हाल में. So we got together and starting to turn around things, shifted to a newer building. Now, alhamdulillah, things are much, much better. Now, what we are experimenting is that these blind girls, they cannot live all their lives among the blind. They need to move about in the society with sighted people. So we introduced the idea of inclusive education. Now, our first girl, we took in a girl in my own school, in a regular school, and now she'll be appearing for her metric exam, and inshallah, this will go on. And initially, 5 years or 6 years maybe they'll spend in that school, lighthouse school. They'll learn Braille and computers and all that. And later on, inshallah, they'll be shifted to the regular school. They'll study just like any regular student. That would help them in the college and university later on. 19 आप कहते होंगे एक जगह से दूसरी जगह, लेकिन बहरहाल this is what my life was and has been. In 1982, the second SOS village was built in Dudhyal, this district Mansehra. And I started working there as a young volunteer with big names, icons in social welfare work. 15 years back, I started the school there. Now that school, alhamdulillah, has nearly 2,000 children. 15 years back, our president died. And I was asked to take over as the chairperson of the committee. I couldn't. I refused. I thought that I am not capable, and that is beyond me. It's a huge responsibility, and our facilities are, one facility is in Mansehra, other in Abbottabad, so long distance between them. Then I have my own work, my own foundation to look after, my schools to look after, from Swath to Mansehra to all Balakot, Kalandrabad. So I thought, no, I won't be doing justice. So I refused. Something happened which made me change my mind. And I think that is the turning point for me. This incident was a turning point for me personally. I was on the board, and we were interviewing some for directorship of the youth home. And an ex-SOS boy comes in. And he said, "Auntie, आपको याद है कि आपने मेरे सर पे हाथ फेर के मेरे बालों में हाथ फेरा था?" I was shocked into silence. I didn't know what to say. A man, young man in his late 20s or maybe early 30s, remembers my ruffling his hair 25 years ago. I couldn't tell him. Honestly, I couldn't tell him. I didn't have the heart to tell him कि बेटा मैंने मोहब्बत से थोड़ा किया था. Because I know that was the truth. I might have done it, maybe just by passing. It was just a gesture. Unknowingly, I might have done it. But that child remembered that throughout those 25 plus years. And he remembered me. That was the moment I realized that what we are doing is not right. We are providing materially for them. We are supporting them. We are providing them with everything we can materialistically. But are we looking after their emotional needs? No, we weren't. It was a mechanical thing. We went there, we had that empathy for orphans, and we made sure that they had ample to eat, nice clothes to wear, education, a job, and our job is done. So, what happened? Okay, I decided at that time that I'll take over and I'll change this. Can I have 2 minutes more, please? So, what I did was that we started catering for their emotional needs. We have to understand that these children, the underprivileged, deprived strata, the most deprived strata of our society, they need emotional support rather than some material support. So now, alhamdulillah, we are going ahead with it. And for me, I must tell you at the end that we need, if we want to follow our ideals, we need to take steps. We need innovation for doing things. We might not do something big, something extraordinary, but little things do matter. And they can be the real change for the persons we are catering for. Thank you very much.